Welcome back to the LCS for the Verizon post-game interview. I've got Wippo. We heard a lot from you yesterday when you joined the analyst desk. So this is about one very specific thing. I got one question for you. Why Shyvana? How did it go during this game?
Not too great. I played pretty bad, I think. I think I should have been ulting backwards and using my my dragon form to poke rather than to engage, which I thought we were really far ahead in gold, so we could play the fights faster and play off of Viego rather than Jhin and Viktor, which was a big mistake. We definitely should have continued to play off our range and continue to play with the backline. And I could have easily supported them with being a very beefy champion that still provides some poke. I think that's very unique to Shyvana. But I couldn't display it this game because I couldn't restrain myself to press R backwards. So I had to R forwards. You know how it is sometimes. And it ended up being a pretty big banger. Yeah, it was a banger of a game. Partially because I played pretty bad, I think.
Still fun times all around for everyone watching. Thank you, Wippo, for the insight. We're going to continue talking about this pick and the rest of the banger game over on the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you so much, the Tigress. Happy we got a quick word from Wippo. Felt it was necessary given the appearance of the Shyvana top. Fun fact for everybody, a few weeks ago, he kind of dropped a hint to a few of us behind the scenes that someday that pick might make its way out onto the LCS stage. That was scary for his second out Immortals. You could say that again, Team Liquid. And probably for you as well, Mark, that was scary for a moment before Team Liquid.
I never doubted them.
Never doubted them.
No, I'm no coward. Toby should be sweating about the chip thing. He's saying he thought he was about to win that bet.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long season.
Not a chance. Not a chance. What a banger of a game that was. What a back and forth game it was. Everything from TL with a cute level 1 to get a small advantage, but Immortals sneakily finding all these dragons throughout the game to put themselves in a winning position when they found their moment to strike.
It's really wild. Yeah, the gold lead was there for Team Liquid, but the fact that it felt like on every setup, IMT was getting the heads up on Team Liquid. The second dragon, after Team Liquid took the first one, it was like, oh, they got to pick on Core JJ, so they were able to get it. The next dragon, it felt like there was always something that was allowing IMT to be there first and pick up small advantages in fights.
And I know people are going to tunnel on Revenge, making some mistakes in the very, very late game, but he was absolutely the reason Immortals was even close in that game. You saw him grab that dragon there. There was a solo kill on Shyvana underneath the turret where he fought them off. There was this insane base race situation that they get into here that he played extremely well to actually kill Bjergsen on the recall and stuff like that. I thought Revenge actually had a really incredible game. There was a lot of pressure put on him to solo carry it with how bad the rest of the game had actually gone for Immortals.
And I think it's particularly impressive to be able to leverage this against TL, right? Because one of the mismatches, I think, kind of still exists between these two teams is understanding of the map and side lane pressure. But IMT have been improving on when to take some of these trades, right? So we see it here when Revenge is just split pushing while they're all kind of posturing around or after Baron. And so seeing that kind of growth from IMT is really nice.
Yeah, and these are the type of games that are pretty depressing. It happens in competitive games where, much like you said, Mark, where it's like you are smurfing for the majority of the game, and then when it comes to this clutch moment, you just have to play patiently. You have that man's advantage, and you're waiting on your AD to catch up, but he walks into 4 people and die, and you're like, well, the audience, the people out there at home, are going to be tunneling on that moment and not the majority of the game in which you were performing in. And it's just crazy to watch.
And there's a lot of moments that you can break down and kind of pick apart what they should have done. Arrow there probably should have just killed the people walking at him with his fed Caitlyn at this point in the game and then taking the Nexus. Or maybe the whole team should have rushed together. You can find a lot of things that they should have done correctly. And like you said, it's tough to execute in these really high pressure situations against a top team that you're like, oh my God, we're gonna win. And you just skip a step or two.
Yeah, and I mean, those games, there are a lot of bangers in practice and scrims. Usually you count those games, even though your Nexus blew up, it's like, okay, that's a win, because we got to that point where we should have won at the Nexus.
Yeah.
It just sucks that it's a professional game. These games count. So that's going to be an L on the column, and it's going to be 4-7 after a performance like that. But at least they performed, or at least we're challenging the best team in the league.
I was about to say that because of that performance, you instantly look like one of the scarier 4 and 7 teams, I can think of out there. And while Revenge did have a pop-off, this is one of those times where I'd like to call out that he did get awarded the Rival, which is best performing player on the losing team. Would have gotten the player of the game had they wrapped it up. Instead, that will go to Santorin for his performance on the Team Liquid side. So good on him, ever the rock for that team, right? As Wippo says, I could have played better. I definitely started to lose it a little bit, you know, in the way that I was playing the Shyvana. Santorin is one of the most consistent players out there on the LCS stage.
It's actually insane. The fact that Santorin on a team that's star-studded coming into this split, we talked about literally every player, and he doesn't get that limelight naturally, because you're naturally going to talk about Core JJ, Hansama, you know, you can keep naming the names, Bjergsen coming in back as a player, but it's Santorin that is leading the team on Player of the Games for a reason.
Well, 9-2 for Team Liquid. They continue to set the pace here in the LCS. Up next, though, it's CLG taking on 100 Thieves. But by the sound of it, Luger isn't too worried about his lane opponent in this matchup. Check it out.
I really like FBI game style. His champ pool is good, I think. Some of the champion, I think he don't like too much to play. I think we saw that kind of Jinx. He kind of lose with Jinx. Maybe he need to play more Aphelios and maybe ban of Jinx, especially against us. Maybe it's good for you guys.
Destiny's to update that.
Boom!
Yeah, Mark? What do you want to update
Elaborate.
me on?
I was updating on the fact that Luger's about to go out there and slam FBI based on
There we
that.
go.
Is he?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's something the whole Destiny needs to know, that Luger's about to pop off in this game.
All right, well, so for this second game of the day, 100 Thieves versus CLG, we figured it'd be another good time to play a game.
No.
This game is a little different than the last one around, all right? So hopefully we've taken your feedback into account. Am I supposed to move over to the Telestrator, by the way?
We're about to find out.
Stay right
Yeah,
here, is what they just
okay.
told me. Okay.
I don't
This
lose
game-
these games, by the
This
way.
game is called, you might lose this one. This one is called, Who Said It?
Okay.
Pretty simple.
Pretty
Pretty
obvious.
simple. I'm going to show you a quote. I'm going to read it out loud. You're going to tell me who said it. And then we'll reveal that by showing a video of whoever said this. So first up, our team is passionate, and we all want to win. Our mic checks are noisy and rowdy, but I think that's the fun of playing on this team. Everyone has an opinion. I'm also going to add one small addendum. Sorry, I didn't say this at the top. Some of these texts are slight paraphrases just to condense what is ultimately
Got it.
said in the video,
Sure.
right? So yeah,
You know
some
who I
ums,
think
some
it
uhs,
is?
things like that.
You'll get
So,
partial marks for teams.
I need player, no partial marks.
Destiny.
You think Destiny said this?
Yes.
What about the two of you?
Licorice?
Okay. Licorice, hey, sounds Golden Guardians.
Someone's having
yeah.
fun, right? It's
Yeah,
a fun
yeah.
team, they said. They're
Golden
passionate,
Guardians, they strike me as a fun team.
I think they said it's fun. There's got to be a team that's having fun.
Emily, where are you
On
at?
this team, everyone has an opinion. So I'm gonna go with one of the teams that's playing right now, which is CLG or 100 Thieves.
Emily's thinking.
I'll go.
Just throw a
Those
name
are
out there.
huhi.
We're all going to be
Huhi.
wrong anyways.
Yeah.
Huh?
Huhi.
Huhi? All right, so we have Destiny, we have
Give it to me.
Licorice, and we have Huhi.
Give it to me.
Let's get the reveal.
Is it that
team
bald-headed?
is
Yeah!
emotional. I'd say we're all very passionate and we all want to win.
I always win these
Definitely
games.
our mic checks. We're noisy, we're rowdy. But I think that's the fun of playing on this team is that, you know, everyone has an opinion, so it's good.
Oh.
There it is.
Okay.
The Destiny of Immortals on that first one. All right, here comes, so that's a 1 point for Raz.
There you go.
All right, you can pop off now. I wanted to hear what
Yeah.
he was saying. I was
Bad,
like,
my bad. No, I didn't know they were gonna
You're
actually. That's on me.
All right, here comes the second quote. Sometimes Summit makes plays for his own satisfaction. He'll push you under your turret and auto-attack you under your turret, even though it doesn't actually do anything. He wants to make those plays for himself.
so it's either a top laner that he's playing against or a
Yeah.
teammate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
In any
top laner
order.
that he's playing against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say Licorice.
You're going with Licorice?
Yeah.
That is also going to be my answer because I know that we cut stuff for yesterday for like.
Using the
use your
insider
brain.
production knowledge here to take a guess at Licorice. So we got double Licorice, Mark. That was your guess in the first.
I'm a follower. I'm going to copy. If Emily's done her homework and she says an answer, I'm going with Emily.
Y'all realize there are 9 other top laners in the league, and you're all going to jump
So I was
onto the
statistically
same.
going to say a C9 player originally because I only
it
have
could
4
also-
I think
guesses.
that's also a
exactly.
good guess.
Exactly.
But now that she said Licorice,
Another
I'm
point.
Well, I know.
All
I
right.
just know we interviewed Licorice for this specific topic.
Well, triple Licorice is the call. Let's find out if you're right.
Yeah, I think Summit could be a lot
Nope.
better than he is right
Well,
now,
no one was gonna guess
despite how
Max.
good he currently is. A lot of times he'll make plays that I think are for his own satisfaction. where he'll push you under your turret and he'll auto attack you under your turret, even though it makes no sense and changes no outcomes. He wants to do that because he wants to impose his power over the other laner. He wants to make you feel like you can't win, despite it not necessarily being the best choice. And I think outside of game he can recognize that and he can say like, yeah, this doesn't actually help. This isn't like the best decision. But in the game, it feels like that. He wants to make those plays for himself. That's what he wants.
I love Max.
So now, but also now you understand where some of the paraphrasing came from.
I also appreciate that Max is like, we talked to him outside the game, and he's like, maybe this isn't the best thing to do, but then he just does it in the next game anyway. I appreciate that.
I also, you know what? I would even go so far as to say it's not that you're not achieving anything, because he kind of hints at it there. You're imposing your will. There's the mental,
psychological.
Yeah, exactly. There's something to be said.
LPL teams would say there's no such thing as fighting over nothing.
Exactly. All right. So when I've got you pushed under turret and I'm auto-attacking you, it's for something, I swear to God. Okay, here we go. Third and final quotation. When we play against 100 Thieves, it's crazy. Whichever side wins bot just wins the game. We're excited to bot fight and bot scuttle.
I know this.
All right.
Luger.
Go.
You think it's
It
Luger?
has to be Luger.
So it's obviously a CLG player.
We interviewed him.
Not only is it, both of them talking about bot lane, but also I think either the paraphrasing makes it weird or it's just like some of the English second languages, like and bot scuttle. I mean, it doesn't really make much sense.
I was thinking that maybe it's just a jungler.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
too.
my guess was going to be Contractz because of that reason, if it's not Luger.
So I'm going Luger.
Luger. Contractz.
I'll go
Poome.
Contractz
I'll
just
go
to be
Poome.
different.
And you're going Poome.
We're gonna spread out the left.
Yeah.
We all went LCS. Bad idea.
So,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
for the record,
Damn, it's
when these games come up, the producers make me play them first to test it.
Well.
I said all three of those names when they tested this game against me this morning. So you guys have the same spread of names. One of you is correct. Let's find out who.
For sure is going some fight from bot lane. It's classic. When we play against 100 Thieves, is just classic. We just in bot fight. We side win both side, they just win the game. So yeah, we are excited to bot fight, bot scuttle. Make sure we first move scuttle. Yeah.
Too smart, Raz.
I think my job here is done.
No, it is
Raz?
not. You are contracted till the end of the
No, I think I'm done right
okay.
now.
I mean, well, that's
2
fine.
for 3 is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
No, two
That's
for
good.
two. Okay, I'll be honest. 2 for 3 is very impressive.
Raz?
I got none of them this morning, although I was close in a couple scenarios. I have a feeling though, as Raz runs away, he's running away. He closed the laptop. I think Raz probably cheated. I'm just gonna float that idea out
if Raz
there.
was scouting.
Look at him. Man, he ran away before we could even accuse him of cheating. All right, well, the teams are ready. CLG
I'm
versus
jealous, he
100
did so
Thieves.
good.
I know he did do so
know.
good. I'm kind of mad too. I thought we was gonna stump you all. All right, anyway, Flowers, Kobe, take it away.
He shows up, he wins the game, he refuses to elaborate. He leaves. We all love Raz. Welcome back, everybody. It's 100 Thieves, it's CLG, and now after hearing the words from Luger himself, I'm excited for bot lane and bot scuttle too.
He also tweeted out right before this game that this game was going to be easy. So
Okay.
the confidence is overflowing in the CLG bottom lane. That is also, coincidentally, where most of the confidence in this team from outside is placed.
Okay.
There's a lot around the bottom lane for CLG. So let's see if they can actually get that advantage that he was talking about in Champ Select out of it and kind of bully the 100 Thieves bottom lane around the Aphelios Jinx matchup.
Well, I am already going to point out some bottom lane focus here in the ban. It's Nautilus and
interesting.
Jhin, the first two bans, the two champions that we saw from Team Liquid in the previous game. They get picked together very frequently when one of them is picked. Those are both removed by CLG. 100 Thieves is going to be a little bit different here. Hecarim and Ryze banned away. Neither the Zeri nor the Gwen are banned out thus far. Let's see if CLG wants to continue this strategy of banning towards bottom lane, if they want to focus anywhere else, or if, hey, it's just going to be the Luger and Poome show.
Yeah, I think they want to pinch it pretty hard because they're setting themselves up with a Jhin ban here for the possible pressure of Caitlyn 3 ban from the side of 100 Thieves. If they don't, then you're faced with the possibility of hard push on bottom half of the map. They ban it themselves and are just going to leave open the Jinx Aphelios trade, which Luger was saying, you know, the Jinx is the one that would be the crutch there.
Okay.
100 Thieves.
Well, the Zeri's banned out, so 3 AD carries banned out in the first half. CLG. Okay. I believe that they're just memeing with this. I do not believe that Shyvana is going to become the new meta.
I still want to see jungle Shyvana, okay? That's what I was getting more hyped
you got
for.
Jinx
from
Arcane.
Not in this game. Oh, from Arcane?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's Jinx from Arcane. That's powder.
Wait, spoilers. Anyways, there's no surprises here. We call this shot, because there are literally 2 videos we just had play of Luger talking about this and talking about bottom lane matchup and talking about the Jinx specifically. So no surprises thus far that they invest all their bans into bottom lane and then first pick the Jinx. Closer on Lee Sin, though. This is definitely a formidable opponent. He, especially if you remember back to finals as well, has had so many strong Lee Sin games. People often over-focus on the Viego from him because, let's be honest, it's
creates, worthy of some focus.
It's worthy of some focus, and it creates the most kind of YouTube highlight stretches. But his Lee Sin also incredibly threatening, and his ability to create early game advantages for 100 Thieves is one of the most critical parts of when this team is looking in championship form.
Well, hey, we were conveniently talking about Viego, and there he is, locked in on the opposite side here for CLG. They're also going to pick up the Tahm Kench there in the support role. When I see something like a Lee Sin, the ability to displace immobile carries specifically like a Jinx is very scary. Having something to be able to keep her a little bit safer could go a long way. Tahm Kench is pretty good at that.
Yeah, Tahm Kench has a super high priority right now. After the last rounds of buffs, he's so tanky, quite strong in lane as well. You just have to remember when you're going for trades with people where you're trying to catch someone, always throw your Q first to land the slow, then W.
Right.
Because if you just try and raw W, it's really difficult to hit people unless they're coming out of Fog of War, out of a brush. So once everybody reminded themselves of that combo, this champion jumps back into priority. Yeah.
Well, talking about priority, Ahri is one of those champions we have been seeing a lot more of ever since her little bit of a mini rework. We'll get to see another performance on her today. It'll be Abbedagge piloting that one here for 100 Thieves. Second phase of the bans rolls out, and the name of the game is the solo lanes, as Zilean is banned out by 100 Thieves, and Jace banned out by CLG.
Yep, CLG having the previous Zilean game. They want to lock that one out. Honestly, too, I think a lot of people are going to be looking at Abba to see if he can return to the heights that he had when he first joined this 100 Thieves roster. Ahri is definitely a strong champion when paired with Lee Sin to be able to do that, to be able to showcase his prowess. So definitely going to be a strong area here for 100 Thieves. I think locking mid-jungle strong duo like that in the top 3 is a strong move. And then trying to ban out a couple of the answers here. They follow up the Zilean ban with the Vex, which is quite good into things like the Ahri, like the LeBlanc.
Well, the Renata Glass. I just call her Renata. I don't know how to say her last name. Renata is banned away as the final ban of the draft here for CLG.
It's funny because they sent out an email and they're like, okay, this champion, you need to say the full name. Renata Glass. It's an entire, it's her entire identity. And everyone's like, I don't think that's going to last long. Well, people like to shorten names. So I also am with you. I'm just going to call her Renata. But the one point I was going to pull out is that I've watched multiple games of huhi in Champions Queue playing this champion, and both times that I watched it, it was with an Aphelios, and they dove bottom lane early on, and they were able to have bottom lane pressure. So it's actually a really intelligent ban and some scouting from CLG to ban away specifically from huhi, who's been putting time in it in a fairly competitive setting.
Right. It's not like Champions Queue is giving these guys the opportunity to practice these things that you would want to play on a stage, like just because it has more coordination, because it is that higher level of game. But hey, if you can't have the new hotness, why not go for the old one? Thresh Aphelios is a time-worn combo that has been used time and time again, and that's what 100 Thieves will be piloting into the bottom lane here in this one, as we also have 2 tried and true solo laners here for CLG, Viktor and Gnar, locked in to round out the comp.
Okay, so CLG are going very stock standard, Jinx and Viktor hard carry games, trying to set up a strong front line for them to team fight with. Contractz is going to be the wild card here on the Viego, which, by the way, Tahm Kench is actually quite strong with melee carries too, and champions like Viego that greatly benefit from just a small time period of being saved and being able to bridge the window to your next reset. So He doesn't always have to babysit Luger, but Luger probably will, be the obvious main carry later on. Meanwhile, 100 Thieves, they lock into Tryndamere for Ssumday once again.
Boy, we've seen this before, Kobe.
I've cast every single one of Ssumday's Tryndamere games, and I am always impressed with it, even in their loss. So I have full confidence here in the last pick for 100 Thieves for Ssumday. Let's see if he can actually pull it out and have a similar effect in the split push in this game.
What's going on?
Jake from State Farm, the perp just confessed. I think. I don't know.
What?
Oh, can't afford streaming anymore, so here we are.
Oh, don't give up what you love. State Farm has options to personalize your policy so you get a rate that fits your budget.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
The subtitles would be nice.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
And hey, we're talking about Ssumday and his power on the Tryndamere. I think that's even more highlighted in a game where you're expecting so much attention to be on the bot lanes. Like, hearing from the players talking about, hey, win bot, win the game. Well, if junglers and mid laners and bot laners, support laners, all these other laners are looking on the wrong side of the map if you're a Tryndamere because you just want to be having your own fun all the way up there in top.
It's kind of funny how one of the classic complaints of top laners is that, oh, we're left on an island, we don't affect the rest of the game. But if you're playing Tryndamere, you want that.
Oh, you're going to
You're
travel agent, island vacation, book it. One way, book it. Let's just go ahead, all expenses paid, book it.
Exactly. You want to do work up there while everyone else is ignoring you and has googly eyes for the bottom lane, sending all the resources down there so that you can get to work and you can start to create your own advantages.
Tryndamere players are going into the MMOs. Everybody else is excited for the PvP. They're like, yeah, I want to show off my skills, do a little player versus player action. Tryndamere's like, nope, I'm here to farm 1,000 wolves per minute. I'm going to get every single wolf. You ain't touching none of the wolves. They're all mine. Tryndamere, the OG PvE. Let's see if Ssumday can absolutely pressure CLG's top lane to a point where it's got to be answered, or if CLG will be able to play through this bottom lane, have that priority, have that control, rotate first to them crabs, and win the game through that. Jinx and Aphelios, we know they're both so very effective at being able to carry games if they can get ahead, if they can reach that big hyper carry power point. Worth pointing out, Luger does have cleanse as opposed to the heal of FBI. The cleanse is going to be very important against both the Thresh hook in lane, as well as those hooks and the Ahri charms in the team fights as we move forward. Despite the fact that Luger takes cleanse, Poome still goes for ignite. Sometimes we see the support switch over to the heal in a situation like this, but both supports still going to be having the ignite here in this one, especially if you're expecting things to get bloody early. I like it.
Yeah, and Luger definitely has to also worry about Abbedagge roams coming from the Ahri later on as well. So having multiple combo breakers of Tahm, Kench, Ultimate, and Cleanse, definitely going to be some good safety for later on. Looks like they do get the early push on the bottom side as well. Poome moving up. He's still got 2 charges to execute one of these melee minions.
Yep. And boop, there it is. How many licks to the center of a melee minion? 1. And Poome will pick that one up nice and easy for Luger there, but now he's going to get flayed back. Huhi and FBI putting a couple shots into him, but overall, nothing too crazy. Just little auto-attack trades back and forth here at level 1, trying to get yourself whatever sort of a small advantage you can. And with CLG hitting level 2 first, 100 Thieves don't want to be fighting them.
I also want to point out the jungle routes here because they are opposite side of the map starts. So Lee Sin going to be heading up towards the top side. We mentioned Ssumday and the Tryndamere. You want to be able to keep out the outside influences from affecting your lane to get any extra pressure there to allow Tryndamere to play aggressively. Because Tryndamere wants to go for these trades where you spin in on the mini Gnar and try and get your crit, right? Charge up your bar for your passive to be able to have your crit chance and then spin in, go for your auto attack trades. But if the opponent jungler is clearing towards your side, or if you don't have vision of them, then it makes it much more risky to play out the lane how you would want to. And so you generally are going to want to have your jungler clear up towards your side, get your top scuttle crab for you, and try and get you the extra safety that way. Abba also going to hover up to the top side of the map where his jungler is. Meanwhile, it is Contractz on bottom half, playing to his pushing bottom lane.
Yeah, and Poome actually had to flash there as the hook flew out from huhi. Could have been a pretty bad potential punish. He was close to the turret, could have been pulled in, flayed back, took a turret shot, all sorts of nastiness. So taking that flash away from the CLG support is going to alleviate some of this pressure on the 100 Thieves bot side, as things are still pretty even down here overall. Back in mid, Abbedagge gets the wave shoved up, thinks about taking it back, but wants to grab, looks like one more wave before he does it.
Yep, Palafox out of mana, will go back, take his teleports recall, actually cancels the recall here. So he's sticking around very low mana, won't be able to join any skirmish if it does pop up. This gives Closer the confidence, okay, I can go for the Scryer's Bloom. He got his kind of shallow ward there towards the blue side. Contractz will find it with his control ward though. It's a good job sussing this out. Something I always try and recommend for people that are swapping into jungle role is if someone from the opponent team was just in your area of the jungle, always assume that they left a ward. One of the most annoying thing for junglers is when other people are coming in and warding your jungle. And so since you see the Scryer's Broom just popped, you know that Closer was just there. So he's able to assume, yeah, there's probably a ward in this vicinity, and finds it and takes away the extra information.
Big wave crashing into the bottom lane tier 1 turret here for Luger and Poome to pick that one up. CS looks pretty 100 Thieves favored right now, but that wave will of course all be able to go over to Luger if he can last hit him just fine. Abbedagge trading here with Palafox, who's still sticking around in lane, still really not any mana to work with. Abbedagge has already used his teleport to return back to lane, so that means that Palafox doesn't even take the recall there. He still stays in lane to last hit these underneath the turret. Abbedagge has his flash.
I want to see Palafox's money to see if he's waiting for like a lost chapter or something, or Contractz though.
Oh, Contractz flashes away, but Closer's still able to read him there with the Sonic Wave. Catches up, beats him up a little bit. Poome was nearby, so they can't chase it any further. Finally, Palafox has to take that recall, go home, make that purchase. You can see the completed lost chapter in the inventory, so I'm guessing that was the reason he was sticking around so long.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was mentioning and looking for. And Contractz, he's saved by his bottom lane being able to push in. The yellow ping that went down was straight from 100 Thieves bottom lane saying, hey, we're on recall timer and Poome is moving up river. Don't over chase him. So it was very close call there for CLG, but they avoid disaster, and 100 Thieves will just get the dragon instead of also getting first blood.
Nice and early Drake for 100 Thieves here. 6 minutes in, they got that ocean under their belt, a little bit of extra regeneration for the laning phase. But here comes the engage. Poome's already ready to go. The flash out from FBI to get over the chompers and not be chain CC'd means he will stay alive and honestly only loses a little chunk of his health.
Yeah, I mean, decently effective gank, but offensively blown flashes can be punished just as much as defensively blown ones. So Luger and FBI both now flashless AD carries. You love to see that as a jungler. There's definitely going to be some possible repeat plays to try and punish either of them.
Offensive or defensive, the only thing that matters, the flash button don't work, right? The guy can't press the button.
I don't care about your sob story. Why don't you have your flash anymore? The point is, you don't have it.
Yup, that's all that matters, especially for these junglers once they can make those plays. Palafox gonna face check the brush here. Finds Abbedagge waiting for him, but it's Abbedagge who's got to be careful. Chaos Storm drops right on top of the two, means Palafox wins out in the trade, uses his ulti to do it. Abbedagge's first back into the lane, and again, the wave will crash into Palafox's turret.
Yeah, even with the vision advantage there, that was not great setup for 100 Thieves to be able to have the coordination on the entry from Palafox to punish him there. So it ends up being a health negative trade for them, and even on ultimates actually used. Not too shabby at all for the members of CLG. Luger and Poome CSing decently down here at their turret as well. Even with Closer there, they give some harassment as well. Nicely traded. Here comes the Ahri though. Remember, this is no ult Ahri, but that's going to be enough to force him out.
Here we go. Closer goes in for the kick. Flash play comes out from huhi. It'll be a 1-for-1 at the start. I would assume they could get the second one here. Poome still alive, still has the thick skin ready. They're waiting. There's Poome. Nice use of the shield. Will force Closer back and get the heal out of FBI too.
Yeah, really, really nice usage because he wants to get his heal while he still has low health before activating the gray health, but can Contractz answer? Looks like
a yes. There's your heartbreaker. Contract's gonna look for number 2. Forces the flash out of Closer, who honestly just stuck around way too long.
Contractz makes good on the defense here. CLG and Poome specifically buying so much time there in the overdive from 100 Thieves that they allow their jungle to come down and clean up the extra kill. That is so big for CLG. Now, 100 Thieves go for this, and rightly so, because they have the level advantage. There's no level 6 on Tahm Kench, so Closer goes in, gets the double kick. Palafox, though.
Palafox, huhi makes the rotation, and they get the kill on the enemy mid laner. Meanwhile, Ssumday was trying to get spicy up here in the top lane, forced the flash out of Jenkins, traded for Ssumday's own Ghost. So that is going to be a cooldown favored trade for Ssumday.
All right, so mid lane priority now, really, really big for 100 Thieves, because Abbedagge didn't have to use his ultimate to get that pick onto Palafox. He can now push in the wave, get his recall off, go spend his money, and get back out to make an ultimate play.
Well, now Luger finding himself in a pretty bad spot, but hey, Poome has him covered, gets him out of there with the Devour. The shield on Luger, massive there, and lucky for him, his support was ready, because that looked scary.
This is why you pick Tahm Kench.
Yup,
Poome's there.
Do it.
They get the save this time around. He got his level 6, so he has the ultimate this time, getting him out of danger. It is going to cost another minion wave, though. That's enough damage to Jinx to force the recall and allows Aphelios to push in on a turret. Interesting, too, because 100 Thieves are simultaneously starting up Rift Herald while they make this strong bottom play and get that health advantage. This is going to get them the objective plus pushing in the wave. So they don't lose out anything to CLG in payment for this play. Really, really nice stuff there from 100 Thieves, playing both sides of the map, playing off the successful advantage that they got on bottom side to leverage this Rift Herald without any counterattacks from CLG.
All right, talking about Rift Heralds, last game we saw one where TL had to summon it back in their base because they ran out of time. I just want to ask, in this game, considering things are still very close overall here in the first 10 minutes of play, what is your ideal Rift Herald scenario for 100 Thieves right now? Where do you want to see them focus and set this up for Closer to drop?
For me, it's mid lane to open up Abba's roams again. We mentioned how important the mid roam for Ahri can be, and Viktor as a predominant wave clear makes it difficult otherwise to take down mid turret if you don't have Rift Herald, so that would be my focus. You might also think, hey, Tryndamere is a split push champion, wouldn't you want to accelerate him? But Ssumday should be getting his own leverage in that area, and if you open up the mid lane, having threatening mid lane roams is actually much more important than having the side lane be able to split push deeper. So I think this is going to be the main goal for 100 Thieves, and you see Closer right now hovering around that area as well.
Yup, Closer has made his way in here, but we got both junglers hanging around, and Contractz is not hanging around anymore. He got immediately deleted.
Absolutely executed there by Abba and Closer. Wow, that was with 4 teammates around too, so that's why he has the confidence. You know, they're trying to force their way into the mid brush before Dragon spawns. But because of the skill shot landing here, it's just off the charm. Abbe doesn't hit that, then it's actually CLG with priority for setup for Dragon. But Abbe does hit those flowers.
He does indeed, and now that second Drake goes over. No issues whatsoever for 100 Thieves. 12 minutes into the game, they've got a 2-0 Drake advantage with a 1,000 gold lead. Will be a Cloud Drake here this time around, which that could be scary when you're up against something like a Tryndamere who just presses his ulti to survive when he dives, and now he's running 9,000 miles per hour chasing down your carries.
Yeah, and a champion that is really heavily move speed and cooldown based. Having a move speed and cooldown Dragon, definitely going to be very big. And this is why I was mentioning the Rift Herald probably better used mid, because Ssumday gets 2 plates by himself. Jenkins is trying to get a cooldown out of him, but might not even get one.
Well, we've got a potential fight down here. Oh, Contractz! He uses the Unstoppable on his ultimate to get away from a death sentence that otherwise would have been exactly that. Huhi's accuracy has been solid. The Thresh performance good so far here in this game. CLG is able to avoid another death for their jungler there on that one, but they do got to be careful anytime he's around, man. Huhi knows how to make these plays. Mid lane, there's your Rift Herald summoned up. Now, of course, it will not be able to take the turret on its own. It'll get it down to 1 plate, but that's about all.
Yeah, I do like it, though. Again, because 100 Thieves are focusing on getting that priority roam from Abbedagge to be able to influence both sides of the map. And the picks are definitely going the way of 100 Thieves. It seems more smooth and more calm because of it.
Ooh, nice kick with the flash over the wall there from Closer, and Jenkins caught off guard, yeeted away from his own turret, didn't have a flash to try to get away from it. Good kill, 100 Thieves.
That is exactly why it feels so much more smooth in this game than the previous game, because these advantages are even bigger than we saw in the previous game, and yet because 100 Thieves are executing these picks so much quicker, it feels like it's over painlessly. You know, you're ripping the band-aid off, like, oh, the closer and Abe just got a pick in mid on the enemy jungler. Of course they get the dragon, right? Of course they're gonna get second dragon. You just kind of chalk that up to an inevitability, but it's only because they're pulling off their picks with such precise skill shots and a precise manner, instantly getting the kill, wasting no time, that the game is going this smoothly and this calmly for the Thieves. This is them just so cleanly swiping the early game away from CLG here. And it's a lot of these picks, either closer starting them off or closer following up on them, that are getting the advantages.
Yep, 2-0-1 on the Lee Sin has been a part out of 3 of the 4 kills for his side. Abbedagge doing a good job here. Everfrost very, very good for Ahri. Just allows you to set yourself up to hit the charm so easily. Even if you don't hit the root, the slow is often enough.
Yeah, I think both mid laners built the correct mythics here. Palafox knows, all right, the all-in from Ahri is what I'm worried about, or the all-in from Tryndamere.
Yep.
So Crown is exactly how you build against those champions, those closer range champions that want to all-in kill you over a short duration. So he's got the Shattered Crown. That's the correct purchase from him. As you're mentioning, for the Ahri, the Everfrost helping you set up, because you've got so much damage on the rest of your team. More crowd control means more kill pressure.
Well, talking about kill pressure, the kills are honestly not super high here in this game, but we are seeing those first items be completed kind of all over the board. Gale Force for Tryndamere, Hullbreaker up there for Gnar, Divine Sunderer on Viego. Bottom side, it's Gale Force versus Kraken Slayer, so maximum DPS option here for Luger, while FBI opts into some more playmaking instead.
I'm glad you transitioned to bottom side, because that's just what I wanted to bring up.
All right.
For the side of CLG, let me remind you of how confident Luger was coming into this match versus FBI. Well, never mind. We might have Ssumday stealing the show with his split push on the Tryndamere. He's level 11 now. Deep behind the tower.
Oh, wow, they are going in for Contractz. 100 Thieves wants this fight, but now they got to be careful because CLG's bringing in the backup. Jenkins' teleport will bring him down here to the bottom side river for the fight. But what fight, Kobe? It's already been disengaged. 100 Thieves went in aggressively, and then they got out as soon as things took a turn south. They end up taking the teleport for it, and that's pretty big.
It is, especially because Ssumday during that time also finished off the top tower and pushed up to secondary turret. And now Ssumday's just going to go get an objective himself. This is why in Champ Select, this was our big focus.
Yep.
Again, another Tryndamere game from Ssumday. He has been massive on this champion quietly, since the team does a lot to avoid other resources from their opponents being spent up on him. They allow him to take the tower, to get this side lane pressure, and this time around he has not gone for the Hullbreaker. He has the extra kill pressure of rushing into first item Gale Force instead of going at second after the Hullbreaker, so he can even put kill pressure onto a mini Gnar. Closer again.
Going in, does not try to, well, nope, never mind. I was going to say he doesn't go for the kick onto Luger, but he didn't even have the cooldown ready to go just yet. I was figuring maybe not, just because he's respecting the Tahm Kench ulti, but hey, sometimes cooldowns are a little longer early on.
And I actually like going for kind of bluff plays like that. Even if you don't have it up right now, Luger had a flash, you know? Jinx flashed down from the move here from 100 Thieves, from closer. They really have CLG on the ropes, where all of these ganks, all of these plays from 100 Thieves take very little time, extremely efficient, and yet each time you get a very big cooldown or you get a kill, and then you're instantly rewarded with that objective.
And hey, talking about objectives, there's your soul point for 100 Thieves 18 minutes into the game. So now, CLG knows they've got 5 minutes to be ready for a team fight in open ground, and otherwise they give away the Cloud Soul over to 100 Thieves. Otherwise, then you have Cloud Soul Tryndamere to deal with. You have Cloud Soul Ahri. All of these other problems that can become very serious if your opponents have that much extra movement speed, my friend.
Yeah, the problems just keep piling on for CLG. Mr. Flowers. Rifthold number 2 is used to finish off that turret, and now is the very dangerous scenario for them. There's no defenses left to try and set up for that dragon. So it's really hard for CLG to get control of their side waves. Jenkins might not even have control of his own destiny here. He does get away with his life, but is going to lose out on Scuttle Crab as Closer moves over to pick it up.
It just feels like it's 100 Thieves Rift right now. CLG's doing what they can to try to hold on, but every time we're looking at things, it's huhi looking to make a flash play, or it's Ssumday stealing away all of the neutral resources in the jungle camps, and it always just feels like 100 Thieves are the ones making a move, and CLG's just scrambling to react.
And that's probably the first one that doesn't really land for 100 Thieves, you know? The flash used by huhi there to try and go for the pick and get in position doesn't amount to much at all. I guess it's a decently strong cooldown for the dragon fight as well, you know, with huhi having a lot of threat there, but the timer's actually going to be pretty close on it. Contractz goes for the stun.
Oh, nicely turned around by 100 Thieves, and Contractz barely saved by his own support. Poome doing the work, performing the miracles, bringing his buddy back from the edge of death in that dive.
He just dove into that Tahm Kench belly. He was like, please open up, Poome, take me home. They are able to save him from the kick. And that's, Closer also nice dodge. But that's what Closer was able to do with this flash kick on Contractz, getting him under tower, pulls out 2 ultimates from the side of CLG. Again, all of these plays that are being pulled off in 3 minutes of advance of the dragon are going to mean that you won't have your flash for that play, but the champions will have their ultimates back. So the fact that it was a flash kick from the Lee Sin actually means it's a bigger payment from the side of 100 Thieves. It doesn't really matter because they have so much control with all 3 now outer turrets being taken down. They'll be the ones to be able to set up the vision around this dragon. But Contractz will have a possible flash play. Maybe CLG can pull off some sort of steal on the dragon or set up the team fight that they're kind of built for. If they can get Jenkins with Gnar ready in the front line, then you can have a surprise engage, you know, with a flash Gnar play into a Tahm Kench W kind of follow up there and Viktor Jinx as your carries. You know, at least they're getting to 2 items on both their carries now here for CLG.
Yep, the Lich Bane completed for Palafox's Viktor. We've got the Phantom Dancer for Luger's Jinx. So this, I mean, hey, they are going to need everything they've got. They are up against a 3,000 gold deficit. 100 Thieves has built themselves an impressive lead thus far. Ssumday, still no second item completed for him. You can see Jenkins working towards his mythic here as well. But maybe those are online in time for the Drake fight. We'll have to wait and see. And again, maybe Ssumday doesn't even bother going to the Drake fight. This is what you buy with this 3-0 Drake control, is the ability to say, all right, we can give these away. If we don't feel we need the soul, we can just leave Ssumday in the top side. You must defend it. We don't care. Ssumday gets turrets.
Yeah, they will have to get a decent amount out of it. One of the like, oh no, it's a first world rich person problem. Oh, we're so far ahead that our opponents have objective bounties. So if our opponents do get that dragon, there's a 500 bounty attached to it also. But if you're, you know, inside the base, you know, plowing away, or if you're getting Baron inhibitors, if you're getting a Baron for it for your juiced up Tryndamere, then it is still worth it in that case. It's just that CLG are happy that objective bounties were added to the game, let's say at this point.
Well, let's see what they want to put together here in the top side. It's Luger, Contractz, and Poome all up here together as they have sent Jenkins into the bottom lane. He'll be dealing with Abbedagge down there. Closer's just farming up these camps, hanging out nearby. His presence alone should be enough to stop CLG from doing any sort of a dive onto Ssumday here. Luger just focusing on the turret, trying to clear that away instead. Closer tries to clear out some minions as effectively as he can, but Sonic Wave's not going to do that much. Minions still tanking enough of the turret, and it gives CLG enough time to take the objective down without even needing the PvP element. Huhi walking away now as Palafox drops the Chaos Storm to get a lot of damage onto the enemy support, but it is 15 seconds until the Drake spawns, and now there is no Viktor ult.
Exactly, the timing of this push from CLG, I really like it. They forced the tower down with enough time to transition over to this dragon. Soul Dragon here for 100 Thieves if they can get it. And they're pinging the Baron Flowers. They want to do your trade. They want to give up this objective bounty dragon, the Soul Stopper for CLG. This is 2 back-to-back big plays for the possible comeback here for CLG. Cashing in on 2 bounties, stopping the Soul, and giving up just 1 secondary outer tower for it.
and you could see some assist me pings in the blue color from CLG onto the Baron pit. They're saying, hey, if they're on this, we have to stop them. But 100 Thieves recognized they didn't have the time to burn the Baron before CLG was able to respond. So instead, they move into the enemy jungle, put down some vision, take away all the camps, and shadow Ssumday at the same time while he takes out that tier 2 turret there in the top lane. With the tier 2 turret falling, despite the fact that their opponents got the gold from the objective bounty, the gold lead's still around where it was.
It's because, oh, never mind, we got a hook on the fish.
Okay, Poome is gone. There is no way out of that one.
Oh,
You can't use Devour to save yourself. Luger has to use both summoner spells to get away from Abbedagge, who jumps in for the assassination. And now with the enemy support dead, enemy AD carry no sums, no health. This is the real Baron call from 100 Thieves.
All right, we're about to get dirty, Flowers. 100 Thieves looking for the turn. Palafox has to flash.
There's another flash. CLG, no flash on either one of their carries. Ssumday's now in a spot to be able to participate in the fight too. huhi's moving in. They're ready to go. They're looking for more picks. huhi with the flash flay. Where's the rest of it gonna be? Aphelios ulti hits 2, but no purple gun means no CC. 100 Thieves chase him away and head right back towards that topside river.
All right, they're going to start up the dragon again. Lantern used to bring FBI over. He's got red, white guns. This Baron is going to melt.
Oh no, it's the Baron taking combo. 100 Thieves are in the pit. CLG's nowhere nearby. They just do not have enough to fight back against it, it would appear. Baron's still at about half HP.
Teleport used. They're going to go for it.
Okay. CLG's saying, all right, let's make the call. Let's go in. Let's fight for this. Contractz coming up now quickly, but the Baron's already been secured. huhi buying some time with a stasis. He will surely die. FBI and Closer get back out over the wall. Abbedagge trying to get away now too. Throws out the charm. Has more ulti charges to continue his own retreat, so 100 Thieves take Baron for only the cost of their support.
Yeah, that's definitely a win for 100 Thieves there. They return right back to it after getting the pick, started up again, burning it down with FBI's Aphelios. And although they do have to expend the flash on their Aphelios in addition to giving over that 1 kill, this Baron buff plays right into Tryndamere's game, right into Ssumday's alley here. He's going to go straight to bottom side. They can 4-1 split push. They can 1-3-1 split push. They want to get as much out of this Baron reward as possible. 2 minutes on that timer. And PoE has unleashed teleport for Ahri on top side of the map as well. So you can get all 3 lanes pushing as long as huhi on this Thresh has good positioning well behind FBI to keep him safe in mid lane. They should be able to play the entire map.
Abbedagge with that Rabadon's Death Cap second item on the Ahri. He is looking to blow some people up here with this one. Closer and Ssumday moving into the enemy jungle to steal away the red buff. Keep that one off of Luger. Still a little bit shy of 2 minutes on the Baron. Plenty of time for this pressure to manifest into a big lead for the side of 100 Thieves. Closer, huhi, and FBI pushing up mid. Side lanes occupied by Ssumday and Abbedagge. Ssumday will be pushing towards that tier 2 in the bottom lane. The tier 2 in top side's already gone from his earlier push, so Abbedagge's job is just to get these minion waves pushing forward, provide pressure, and stay safe.
Exactly. Highlighting there in the mid lane as well, the position of huhi. That's what you're talking about. Just keep him well behind the Aphelios, so you always have a lantern. The side lane's playing cautiously enough that the Baron is going to be enough to get onto these turrets. Ssumday's going for it, though.
Ssumday has ghosted, and he is after Jenkins. The Gnar bar can't charge in time, and Ssumday gets his kill.
Closer just watching there, throwing up the emote to the sideline.
Good job, buddy.
Closer's #1 Ssumday fan. He's like, woo, get him. Stomp that Yordle.
Well, the Yordle has been stomped into the ground. Jenkins dead for the next 30 seconds. Ssumday just continuing to keep things pushed up down here in bottom lane. Yeah, Closer and Contractz are trading back and forth a little bit in the jungle. It doesn't matter a whole lot because mid lane, tier 3 turret, under siege. FBI nearly killing that one off, and boom, there's your lantern from huhi to pull him to safety immediately. Palafox nearly killed up there in top lane as Abbedagge chases him away from the turret. Had to use the Viktor ulti too. Mid lane tier 3 still with just barely half a hit on it. FBI can step up, backdoor protection or not, that thing is dead. 100 Thieves will break the inhibitor turret line there in mid lane with their Baron, and now everybody resets. The last little bit of the buff is going to wear away, so our Baron power play ends up at plus almost 4,000 gold with the base defenses broken open and an overall 6,500 lead for 100 Thieves. 10 seconds till next drain.
Yeah, they're about to break CLG themselves, Flowers. This one is crushing as we're leading up to this pinnacle of a dragon fight. 3 seconds left, 100 Thieves already on it, so CLG, it's going to be really rough for them to move in towards the dragon. They're just going to have to go head first
It's already gone. 100 Thieves have done it. They've got themselves the soul, and now Contractz once again tries to get away. He'll escape for now. Ssumday's tanking up everybody. Surely the Tryndamere is gonna die here, or surely not. Ssumday gets away, but Luger won't. Poome jumps over the wall, trying to get away there with that Abyssal Voyage, but now the shield keeps him alive only a moment longer. Poome will burn down to huhi, 2-0. 100 Thieves, taking the Drake, taking the soul, taking the fight, and if they have their way, they're taking the game.
Yeah, the Cloud Soul Tryndamere ultimate on display right as soon as they get it, Flowers. Ssumday gets out, and 100 Thieves get in the CLG base.
First inhibitor's down, second inhibitor, it's right there. Why not take it out too? 100 Thieves going for the throat on this one. Still 10 seconds on both bottom laners of CLG. Now you've got Closer looking to make a move yet again here. Who's it gonna be? Nope, just jumps right on back. Still no Dragon's Rage, but it still doesn't matter. Jenkins in the middle of 4. Jenkins doesn't stand a chance. Palafox gonna get farmed up next. FBI is still alive. Double kill to the AD carry, and a dub to the 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves right back on track. This game, controlled from the very beginning, looks so clean in all of their picks. Get one pick, boom, there's dragon number 2. Another pick, there's a kill on top lane. Another pick, there's dragon number 3. Moving it ahead effectively at each stage here. Honestly, 100 Thieves, they are still looking at a lot of the top teams at the top of the standings, kind of building towards those really big matchups, but it's important to take care and clean up some of these, quote unquote, gimme games as well. They really need to solidify some consistency with this team. This game's gonna go a long ways in those ends.
Yeah, there was a couple of good moments for CLG where Poome was able to get some solid saves, right? Like, the Tahm Kench, there was a couple of clutch moments there. But I never really felt like it looked dangerous for 100 Thieves in this game. They kept control. They never did anything too YOLO. They were able to recognize, hey, give up the Drake here, no big deal. Even on the Baron call, backing away from that and then shadowing Ssumday instead, leading to a better Baron fight afterwards. The comms felt clean, the game felt clean. Well played to 100 Thieves.
I also just love this story of Tryndamere for Ssumday. He's emerging as one of our Tryndamere gods here in the North American
Ssumday
LCS.
being good at something in top lane, no way.
Honestly, it's refreshing too, because I know that there have been lots of changes where designers have been trying to get split push back into the meta and back into the game, and not always have all these games be team fights and dragon stacking and stuff like that. And so it's cool to see some of those incorporated in some of these LCS games. And 100 Thieves definitely one of the best at doing it with the Tryndamere specifically for that pick.
Oh, yes. Well, on the other side of the break, huhi's going to join Tigris for a Verizon post-game interview before Cloud9 battle against Evil Geniuses to fight back to first place. Don't go anywhere.
I call it the wheel.
I don't think so. This is a miss.
Brother David, behold! It's a fork!
I got 10 forks right here, baby! A toilet? We're not animals. We go outside like humans.
Hancock.
No king!
The people shall have the right to vote.
Even the stupid ones?
Yes!
Edison, can I be honest with you? It stinks. Nobody's gone to the moon, ever! Why not? It's far! It's too far! It's far!
の未来はポータブルミュージックです。
バカか！出て行け！バタリがいてもやるぞ！バタリ！
Like I was saying, it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never.